But first, let's go over these beliefs that we have, these self limiting beliefs that we can't generate revenue generating assets. I think number one is most doctors feel it costs too much money. They see things like investing in real estate or investing in a syndication and that or investing in property in general, it's going to cost thousands of dollars, and it can, for sure. However, if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't cost a lot of money to develop a business. Well, obviously, it depends on the type of business that you have. But as I mentioned, if you want to be a coach or be in consulting, it doesn't cost a lot of money. And most businesses can get started in less than $100. Just using your knowledge, your expertise, and then marketing, telling the world that you have this expertise that you're willing to share with the world and get paid for it. And I've seen consultants. I talked with one who's now gone in six figures, and it did not cost him a lot of money to get started with it. Now he's developed courses and coaching, and there wasn't a lot of money to it. Now, certainly there are some investments that you do. It can cost a pretty penny, but you could also buy an existing business that you can get an online business that is already generating revenue. You can go to a site like flippa.com or Empire Flippers, and you can find sites that are already generating some type of income every month. So don't have that as a self-limiting belief. I also know people who are in training or who are residents who have invested in properties. There are things that is possible that you can get no money down, on some real estate. Now, obviously, you need to do your due diligence on these deals, but you can make it work if you really want it done. Number two self-belief is that it costs too much time. And I don't take a lot of stock into this because many doctors who I've seen, and not just doctors, I've worked with non-physicians as entrepreneurs, and they say they don't have time, but then I see on their social media how they're going on, their vacations, or they're talking about their favorite shows or their favorite sports teams, or they're on social media 10 times a day. And yes, just like as in anything, especially if you're new to all this, you have to do your due diligence, you have to do your research. There is work that's being involved. There is no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. However, if you truly want to develop a revenue-generating asset, information is there. You can start it. If you want to get involved in short-term rentals, you can start reading books about it. You can start watching YouTube video about it and start doing your research. Now, there comes a time, obviously, when research has to turn into implementation. So, there's that too, and you have to get over that hurdle of actually pulling the trigger. But in the grand scheme of things, you don't have a lot of time on this planet. I've mentioned this before. When I wanted to start my business, I basically used my kids as motivation for me. And my thing is I wanted to spend more time with my kids. And when my son was 6 years old, he was in, what was that, kindergarten, first grade. And so I'm saying, if he's going to go off to college, I might have 10 or 11 summers with him. And I wanted to spend more time and seeing them grow up because that was important to me. So when you break that down, there's not a lot of time that we have. When you subtract, being in traffic and working and, going to sleep and using the restroom, that's all time that is dedicated. And then what time do we have with it? So my thing about having a revenue generating asset, money that was being generated while I was sleeping, that was very important for me to have. And that allowed me to leave my job and have the lifestyle that I wanted. And then number three is that developing or creating a revenue generating asset is too complicated. You guys are smart. The top of the top graduate from medical school. And There are people who will see, like, yeah, I want to start a business, but it's just too complicated and I don't want to do it. And there are people who said the same thing about going into medical school, but you did it. And like I just mentioned, everything is out on the open. If you want to find information on a particular subject, it's already out there online. You just have to track it down. You have to read the books. If you want to be the best surgeon, you study the best surgery books. You follow and have mentors, and that's what you need to have in any type of. If I'm looking at developing a revenue generating asset, I will spend the money, read the books, and then if I want to get to the next level, I hire a mentor. I've done that when I wanted to go into stock market and options trading. I did that. I did that when I wanted involved in real estate and learn about syndications. I did that and had mentors and reached out to those people because I'm not so smart enough to figure it out on my own. People have already done that for me. That's why we have mentors. So, yes, if you don't have a lot of money, then you need to spend the time reaching out. But the good thing is that there are people who are teachers out there who I will pay them because they've already gained the knowledge for their time and so that they can teach me what they've learned so I don't make the same mistakes, the mistakes that they've done and they've probably paid the hard way. So just like as any subject, you need to have revenue generating assets as a subject that you need to master.